What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. So like and subscribe. So, it doesn't seem like there's a bright light in the future of PlayStation as it is right now. Their future is in flux. It's really bad to look at. I mean, every video is going to be this, basically. Doom and gloom for Sony, yay for Xbox, except for the fact that Xbox increased prices in Brazil by like 40% or something on the Xbox Series S only. So I'm wondering why. To make more money, to adjust for inflation, I don't know what it is. It's never a good look for a company to increase prices. I will blame Sony for setting the precedent this generation because it's never happened before. Sony was the first to do it, and now Microsoft feels that they're in a position of up and coming. They're coming up basically, so they can make these kind of moves nice and early. I think in the long term, it's not a big deal because I don't think the Series S is long for the planet, long for gaming. If you know what I mean. It's an option, but it's not the best option. It's not the best option as far as moving games forward and all those things. Meanwhile, there was I think VGC put out a article about Sony trying to explain why they raised the price of PS Plus earlier. It's like, whatever. What I wanted to really talk about was the Alan Wake 2 performance. It seems that the tools that all the ponies and the donkey unicorns were making fun of, oh, the guy just wait for the tools. But when you have a developer who actually uses the tools, not just wait for the tools are there. If they actually use the tools, then guess what happens? Xbox comes out on top. Xbox comes out 60 frames solid. And then you look at the PlayStation 5 and it's like 55, barely keeping up, you know what I mean? So I'm like, velocity architecture versus the super fast SSD. I saw somebody post that. And in many instances, Xbox wins, right? So here's what I think is happening. All of the devs out there are seeing what's going on. They're seeing the movement. They're seeing Xbox just got ABK. They're like, oh shoot, we need to start making our games for the Xbox because, you know, the devs, they want to sell their games, you know? And also, if the perception is Xbox is a better place to play, then they want to accommodate that. That's what they've been doing to PlayStation this generation. But the tables are turned. PlayStation's in chaos. It's crazy over there. And all the devs are seeing this, and their internal devs are seeing it. And the feeling is Xbox is on the come up, PlayStation is on the out. You know what I mean? And that's what's going on. So, you know, you you look at you step back a little bit, you look at the grand scheme of things, and you're like, wow. I mean, the grand scheme within the scheme of video games, the entertainment, you know, whatever. But you look at that and you're like, wow, you know, how quickly things turn. And I believe we're going to see more and more developers and games perform better on Xbox Series X versus PlayStation 5 regular. If they come up with a Pro, it may be equal to, maybe it'll perform a little bit better than the X, but the thing is that it's the perception. Like I said, the devs are seeing what's going on with PlayStation. It's like, why would they back that horse when it's unknown? The future is uncertain at PlayStation. They're not confident in what they're trying to put out, what their direction is. They look at the first party lineup coming out and they're like, I mean, us as gamers are looking at it, it's like, what is there? Wolverine and that's it? What do you think the devs are doing? They're like, I mean, yeah, they have an install base, but how much is it gonna grow? Is it gonna continue to grow? I think it's gonna slow down immensely because they ain't got no games. The whole purpose of having games is to sell your console, but if you ain't got no games, how you gonna sell consoles? And that's their whole business model. The problem is Sony's they screwed up so bad this generation. Check it. Their business model was to sell consoles, and they sell all these consoles, and that way they get their user base up, and then they can make money on the games, right? That has been the old way, the old business model for like since the beginning of the video game industry, right? That's what it has been. Now, what happened at Sony was they were still in that mode, and then Jim Ryan said, "Nope, we're gonna do games as service." Right in the middle of the generation, it's like, wait, that's not how. No, that's not how it's gonna work. A, because the studios don't want to do it because they're so used to doing what they're doing, right? And B, you have to prepare. You know how long it took freaking Xbox to get where they are? It took them an entire generation. I'm gonna say 10 years it took them, because it was the 7 of the last generation pretty much. They had to reboot, restart, and 3 in here. And now, boom, they're finally where it's just starting right now, where everything that they have done within the past 10 years is starting to pay off. They have a bunch of games as service games already there with millions and millions, tens of millions of people playing these games. You know, the ponies and the donkey unicorns never give Xbox flowers for the fact that they have these games. They got Sea of Thieves, they got Grounded, they got Minecraft. I mean, those are just the 3 that I can do off the top of my head, but those are multi-million, billion dollar. I think they're part of the $1 billion that I think Phil Spencer put out. He said they have $13 billion franchises or IPs or something like that. I know those 3 are definitely in there. But it's like, how are you gonna just try to change strategies in the middle of a generation and expect it to happen overnight? No. And that's the problem. See, if Sony is gonna do this, which I don't think they're gonna, I think they're gonna revert back to what they used to be doing, but the games are gonna be smaller and few and far between. So any way you look at it, Sony is kind of going down. If they go the games as a service route, which I would say that they probably have to in order to keep existing as a video game publisher and maker, if they don't do that, either way they're screwed, because they've trained their studios, their devs, and the expectations of their audience to accept a certain type of game from PlayStation first party. Walking, talking, sad dad simulator. That's what they do. Cinematic, that's what they do, right? That's it and that's all. Anything else is rejected. You look at all the other games they tried to do, Mag failed, Destruction All-Stars failed. Any attempt at doing anything multiplayer failed because it's not cinematic. It's not a banger. It's not of that quality. And even games that are kind of close but not quite, like Days Gone, nope, sorry, too many bugs, down the drain, garbage, right? So they have screwed themselves, inadvertently screwed themselves, because they have created an expectation by their fans for a certain type of game. And they will not accept a games of service game, because that's not the type of game that they expect Sony to make. They don't expect that to be a banger or whatever. And their strategy, their selling console strategy, is antithetical to games as service. Games as a service game is to be, you need to put that everywhere you possibly can. Toasters, refrigerators, microwaves, everywhere. PCs, handhelds, phones, everywhere, including your enemy, Xbox and Nintendo. Everywhere. If you look at the games that are the most popular, that are continuously on the top 10 for sales and players, they are not exclusive. They are not exclusive. They're not first party exclusives. That's it. They may be first party, but they're never exclusive. Never will you see an exclusive game on that top 10 list talking about, yeah, we made the most money and all. Nope, it won't happen. Consistently, I'm talking about. Look at Minecraft, not exclusive. You look at MLB The Show, I don't even know if it's on top 10, but it's the only baseball game show it should be, right? Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, not Modern Warfare, the Battle Royale, Fortnite, all these games, not exclusive. And that whole exclusive mentality, yes, you want some exclusives to bring people to your platform. But ultimately, if that's your only play, it's gonna be a losing play because, you know, the proof is in the pudding. We're seeing it happen. Sean Layden said it. You can't afford to make those type of games consistently at the same quality. You know, I wanna know how much Spider-Man 2 costs to make. Even though it probably wasn't as much as a from scratch, brand new engine type of thing. It wasn't because they're using the same engine. They're using a lot of the old assets. They're hooking them up. They changed, I guess, the light, how they bake the lighting and stuff, because it's not dynamic time of day on Spider-Man 2. It's a set time of day. So that's why it looks so good. If it was dynamic time of day, that game would look horrible. Because they have not figured out how to do dynamic. I don't think they have. Maybe in Horizon. Does Horizon have dynamic time? I don't even know. But whatever. Point is that the performance the performance will start to shine true. The actual truth about the performance Xbox versus a PlayStation will start to shine through. Now, the only thing that Sony can do is really put out a PlayStation 5 Pro, but that's another bad mistake because the devs are gonna hate it because that's another SKU they have to code for. Or if they don't have to code for it and it automatically does magic to regular PS5 games, that's what's gonna happen. So you're not even gonna get the full advantage of the PlayStation 5 Pro. It'll just help with frame rates and stuff. And so I'm like, at that point, that's a waste. Why would you buy something for $700? I'm saying it right now, it's gonna be $700. If the regular PS5 is $550, you know it's gonna be at least $650. I say that, $100 more. I'm saying $700. Anyway, why would you code specifically for the PlayStation 5 Pro when you know that you could just bring over the regular PlayStation 5 version and it'll reap the benefits from the extra horsepower? Nobody's gonna do the extra work because extra work needs extra money unless Sony's gonna fit the bill. It's a bad look. They know it's a bad look. That's why they haven't said anything. That's why they haven't released anything. That's why they did this little revision thing. But I mean, certain people are gonna be like, yeah, and they're gonna like, oh, it's gonna ignite the console wars more, and the ponies will get all brave again. Like, oh snap, look at that, we got the most powerful console. And then they're gonna look at the sales numbers of things on the PlayStation 5 Pro, which they won't separate. They're not gonna do that. They're just gonna be like PlayStation 5. And they're gonna add those Pro console numbers to the regular console number. But it's not gonna sell that much because of the price point. It's gonna be too much. And I don't think it's gonna be that much of an improvement to validate a purchase. And I've heard ponies or ponies in the media say this. They said I have a PlayStation 5. Why would I buy a Pro? Why would I buy? I mean, especially the new one, the new Slim. Nobody's buying that. If you have a PlayStation 5, there's no reason to buy that version of that Slim. It's not. So they're making moves. They're making a lot of moves, mistakes on their hardware front. And the fact that they're supposed to be the hardware company. Oh, Sony's good at hardware. Nah, they're slipping. They're slipping because the PlayStation 5 is not the best hardware this gen. And the revision, man, it's not that much better. And we'll see how the Pro comes out, but nobody wants it. A lot of people don't want it. Devs don't want to have the headache to deal with a new API and all that stuff. But anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Y'all like and subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel about Alan Wake being better on the Xbox versus the PlayStation. They showed. Well, first the FPS is better, and the loading times is better from dashboard to the game. So I think it's 14 seconds on the Xbox. It's like 30 seconds or something. 27 seconds on the PlayStation. Everything else is faster, but the PlayStation is left behind. The PC's faster. The S is faster. The X is faster. PlayStation is like fourth place. I was like, damn. I guess the SSD is getting tired or something. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. And I'll take you on the next one. Took the weed.